It's been a winter whiplash of weather, from wet to dry conditions, and January was no exception. Now the second driest on record for downtown Sacramento, recording only 5/100ths of an inch of rain. Now that's going to fall just behind that 2015 record, where we only had 1/100th of an inch of rain. For Stockton, actually the driest on record, just a trace of precipitation coming through. The only rain that we really saw, measurable rain at that, was on the 7th with 5/100ths of an inch of rain. But you can see throughout the rest of the month, no measurable precipitation, virtually no clouds as well, outside of the fact that we saw some fog. So we're on this 33-day stretch so far since December 30th of no significant rainfall, say over about 8/100ths of an inch of rain. Total rain since October 1st is at 14.42 inches. That's putting us still ahead of normal. When we finally hit normal, let's say we don't get any more rain at all, that would be mid-March. At that point, we drop below average, something we certainly don't want to see. After 2 drought years, we were starting to make some gains, but most of that was in October from one storm and then successive storms coming through in December. So here's how the state is shaping up with the color grid here. You can see the brown areas marked in Southern California and starting to see that appear on the northwest corner of the state. Now the middle part of the state still looking slightly above average, but again, all of that coming from basically 2 months of precipitation, because you can see how things have been, like I said, a winter whiplash. Virtually no rain in September. We normally don't get that much anyway. In October, historic rainfall coming in from that one storm lasted about 4 days, and then in November we dropped down again. December, it was a record setter for the Sierra snowpack, and then January, virtually nothing coming our way. That storm track not favorable at all. Here's a look at the numbers comparing what we normally see as to what we've been seeing so far. As far as the numbers, they look pretty good, especially right through that I-80 line through Highway 50, Stockton, Modesto, San Francisco, and Sacramento. Once we actually look at, okay, how does this fare compare to where we usually are, you start to see the deficits forming, especially for Ukiah, Redding, and Eureka, starting almost to fall to at or slightly below average for places like Stockton. Again, the driest on record in January, so not too surprising that we're starting to see those numbers fall. This is also true for this year. For the first time since the beginning of the month, we've now fallen below average, sitting at about 95% for the northern, central, and southern Sierra. I really like this comparison. This is our snow water equivalent. Let's say we melted all that snow down, started to pull it down the hill. It supplies about 1/3 of our state's water needs, and you can see the beginning of the month, lots of color up here on the map. Where we're getting especially hit hard are on some of the slopes on the east side of the crest and also on the southern facing slopes. Those in particular really starting to see the snow dwindle away. This is what it looked like up at Homewood. You can see position looking out towards the lake, but when we flip it around to say the other side, south facing, where we have a bit more sun exposure throughout the day, things are starting to melt off really quickly, and that's at all elevations. We also look at the evaporation. What is happening with all this sunshine? And earlier in the month, we weren't seeing much evaporation happening. The only reason why I point this out is because last year we were absolutely caught flat-footed. We had an evaporation rate that was unprecedented. So the amount of snow that we thought was going to melt down, fill our reservoirs, didn't happen. And that is really difficult for water managers. So right now our evaporation rate running pretty high. This is the state, and you can see almost all areas kind of at that higher evaporation rate, which is not necessarily the best news for our reservoirs. At this point in the season, we're really not looking for big gains. That doesn't typically happen until April and May. But again, last year we got caught flat-footed with the evaporation being so high, and so we didn't really pull down as much water as what we thought we would. We're still anywhere from about 55 to over 100% of average. Keep in mind, though, Folsom's a really small reservoir compared to Shasta, our biggest one, and that's at 55%. One thing that I like to keep track of is the Northern Sierra 8-station index. Now, this grid right here is showing where we are right now. This is the line right here, the blue line, and then comparing that to the average. This is going to be that whole kind of baby blue area shaded there. That's 53.2 inches of precipitation. Right now we're at 31.5. In 2013, we kind of have these two lines that in recent past had a very similar trajectory in the beginning of the water year, 2013, 2011. 2013 absolutely flattened out, and then we ended up below average. Now, that was also the beginning of our historic drought that lasted 4 years. 2011, comparatively though, it really picked up steam at the end of February through March, kind of a miracle March coming through, and we ended up above average. So that was a really good water year. We're hoping that things turn around and end up more like 2011 because we started off this water year deep into drought. We made those improvements as we headed through December, and so we're still at a pretty good position right now. That's the latest drought monitor. But as far as the week-to-week gains, we haven't seen any at all. Last week, we were pretty much with no part of the state in that exceptional category, and that's where we stayed with, again, no improvement being made, but we're not starting to go back. But unfortunately, again, what's happening right now with that line from 2011 and 2013, if we kind of fall in line to that 2013 Northern Sierra 8 Station Index, this is what that looked like here on this drought monitor. You can see how long that extended. This is where we are right now. The other part of this is that we started off drier and warmer than we were in 2012, 2013. So it's kind of a double. We kind of have two things going against us right now. We have more digging out to do potentially. What dug us out from the last drought was a La Nina season. We ended up with 33 inches of rain. And our normal rain is about 18.13 inches. There's almost no way that we're going to catch up on that right now, because here's how that would play out. We basically need about 140% of average. Again, we're at 14.42 inches right now, and 14.42 inches, if I should say. We would need to get to 100% of average, just under 4 inches of rain. Now, to get to that 140% of average, we would need close to 11 inches of rain, and basically about 2.5 months, because in May, we don't really see that much rain. April sometimes, and so we need about mid-February through March to make those gains. But again, the outlook not only drier to start off the new month, but also with above average temperatures.